Welcome to a new episode of the ITOT Insider Podcast, in which we will be talking to the Group IT Operations and Industry 4.0 lead at Poclain Hydraulics. But first, two things. First of all, this is our very first sponsored podcast. So thank you, Litmus, for sponsoring this one, and also to make sure that we can really keep on growing our channel, our reach, which means bringing more interesting content to you. And secondly, if you are still interested in joining our ITOT Academy, we have 5 seats left in our January cohort, but we also already opened our May and September groups. Our January run is almost full. We try to limit it at 40 participants, but for May and September, there are still plenty of seats available. So if you're interested, please go to itot.academy. And that's it from my side. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a new episode of the ITOT Insider Podcast. Welcome, you're listening to the ITOT Insider Podcast. I'm your host, David. Subscribe to our blog or go to our academy to know more about our work. And today we are going to talk about industrial DataOps, being in the ITOT domain from the perspective of an end user. And I'm super happy that I have Rija Rakotoarisoa, if I pronounce that well, with me. Rija is or used to be the IT manager of a large French manufacturer active in the automotive industry. And today he is the Group IT Operations and Industry 4.0 lead at Poclain Hydraulics, which is in industrial machinery. Rija, thank you for joining us. First of all, I hope I pronounced all the names correctly. And if so, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, it's very good. Hi, David, and thank you for having me. So I am Rija Rakotoarisoa. So basically, I am IT Operations and the Industry 4.0 manager for the Poclain Group. The scope of this is all of the manufacturing project applications, but also the supply chain side for all of the groups. So we are supporting all of the Poclain plants on the all operations action, manufacturing and supply chain.
Could you just start with positioning Poclain? So like what type of manufacturing, what type of products, just to get a bit of a rough idea?
Okay, so Poclain is an industrial company. So we are producing motors, pump, and the valve. So basically, we are one of the leaders on the hydro transmission.
Interesting. And what does an Industry 4.0 lead does on a daily basis in this company? What is your role?
So my role in this company is to support the operational, let's say, simplifying the usage of the data in the shop floor to address the real pain points like quality, like maintenance, like even in data collection to let's say to make to take decision easily. And the other point as well is like previously we had a lot of manual actions, and you don't have the data on a daily basis. You have it the next day if it was written somewhere in a paper or Excel or something. And data consolidation is as well painful earlier. So our journey, part of our journey is like automate data collection from the equipment from where we need it in terms of performance, quality, traceability, and so on and so on. And then provide automatic data flow to where the user need it. So the idea is to support them to concentrate to their real job. For example, quality should focus on quality, but not on gathering data and cleaning data. So we try to, as much as possible, to work them, prepare data flow, push it in the global database, and from there we create automatic and live data, and helping them as well, for example, for the improving quality by providing some live indicators, but live POCAIOK as well. For example, producing one part on a business units, and the next step of the process when you'd like to use the same part by scanning this. So we can say if the part was okay or not okay in the previous one. So we can reduce the customer claim as well on this. So that's some real life example on what
Yeah.
we do.
I have a ton of questions about that, but
Okay.
before we do that, so um, you I think originally you come from the IT sides,
Exactly.
and now you are in, call it Industry 4.0 or
Yeah.
ITOT, or at least I would say in a manufacturing context. So I would love to understand, like, what was that change for you? Like, when did you change from an IT role to an ITOT or manufacturing or whatever role, and
Mm.
how did that went to you? What were the differences? You know, a bit about your personal journey from
Personal.
IT into
Right.
ITOT.
Yes, that's a really good question, Seth. So basically, I have a master of science in IT first. So you're right. So I started more than 20 years back in the industry as the IT developer first.
Mm-hmm.
So starting working at the industry at for a given plant as an IT developer, and then I moved to IT manager for this plant. So managing development, local application, network, ERP, and so on. So after 5 6 years, so I thought like I already see everything. So I thought, but it was not really the case after after analysis. But at that time, 2010, so I would like to do something else
Mm-hmm.
in top of the IT. So I follow up a master in finance at
Oh
Paris.
wow.
Yeah, master in finance, and then because this was the only way, let's say, to remove the tag as a geek, because I was so so complicated to move to another position and the same company because you are tagged as that. This is the IT guy, it is the geek. So if you'd like
Hey,
to go,
for the record, there's nothing wrong with geeks.
okay, no problem. and yeah, and so I asked to my manager at that time that yeah, I'd like to do something else, and I would like to do more business on top of the IT, having more impact in the business, because in fact during my life in the plant, I always in contact with people in production, in finance, in supply chain, and so on. So I was aware about all of this requirement from the plant side. So I would like to provide more values, and I do this master in finance.
Mhm.
And after this, I stay at the same group, but moved to another plant as a finance and IT manager. So I have uh, both positions, and it was very challenging because I was really, let's say, the level zero in finance, to be honest. But you already have the position to manage this for all of the plants. And we had as well a plan that we lost money for this. So one of the big challenges, let's say, to say that we should put this plant in positive, not only me, but with the whole team.
Mhm.
But at least I use my background in IT to put in place some automation to support the business team to have all of the information that they need. So we called it at that time like each manager, each individual, each single people should know the cost of they are doing. So
Oh.
yeah, so we wanted that we would like to make them responsible of they are doing.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so providing an automatic reports, automatic analysis. So I already had the knowledge of the ERP for the group at that time. So it's more or less so my background in IT was a big helper for me, even if I was not the let's say the superstar for
It
finance.
was just creating a very big Excel
Yeah,
spreadsheet.
no, exactly. Yeah. So it's collecting information from the ERP, pushing to the right people at each level of our business unit. And I did it from 2012 to 2016. And from this, so I worked closely with the operational people, how to improve, to reduce cost, to improve the operational excellencies on the and it gave me, let's say, it's a really a big a game changer for me, because I have another eyes, let's say, another eyes of it's not just a focus on IT, but focus on business and focus on the we can reduce cost, but we should produce with the right quality. We should take care as well about the how the operator are working, the working condition in the shop floor and facilitating and so on and so on. And we started to see that yeah, we have a lot of things that are not automated. We have to enter everything on paper, because I was also the manager of the ERP for the plant, and the team that entered manually the information in the ERP is part of my team. I said, like, hey guys, we need maybe to automate something here, because a lot of time, 2-3 dedicated people to enter information only. There is no value added for this.
No.
And I started to work with the let's say it's like a shadow. It's not a group initiative, but in our local plants, started working with the maintenance team and collecting information on this. And yeah, so after 3 years as the finance and IT manager, so our plants at the first year, our plant was positive. So that is the real good things. And
Wow.
the years after, a lot of work were done by all of the teams, the local steering committee team, and yeah, so the plant were going well, and there is less challenges, let's say. So it's like okay, you need to prepare the business plan. You had to check, to generate the P&L each month, and so on and so on. And it's less exciting exciting as a job. So I am like working, let's say, when having new challenges. So I ask, so it's in 2016. So I ask, like, yeah, okay, finance is good, but finally, I would like to do something that's to digitize the manufacturing, the shop floor. It is one of the things I would like to have. So I asked there as well to see if there is a position that or a project for me. And at that time, the company, okay, so they create a new position for me to work this time on the global group, to work on these topics. And at the same time, we were bought as well by another big company, by Alain Amar, and I was part as well of the global group as well for the Industry 4.0 project. So and it is where the transition. So work with them during 3 years. Learn a lot. So we had at that time we had 56 plants or across the world, and like 25 in Europe. And so seeing various example in various plants, in various processes, and so on and so on. So experiencing as well some good and bad practices. Yeah, but at least I learned a lot on this. And after 3 years of these positions, I moved to Poclain. Yeah. It's like for the again for the Industry 4.0, it's a Greenfield. So it's a creation position as well for me, because the company at that time decided to put someone on this position to support the operations. So with my team at that time, so we were two guys to start from nothing, almost nothing.
And I will come back to that, but I just you said one thing. You mentioned just a minute ago. You saw good examples and bad examples. Like, can you? I'm sure our listeners would be really interested. Like, what would be a bad example? What would be a good example?
Yeah. So an example of bad example is like, for example, for a company, and it's normal that a company has let's say a global strategy. So we have to roll out globally on the group. So you decide it. Sometimes you take information from the single plant or from the end user themselves, and sometimes not. but sometimes you say, okay, this is the strategy, you should implement this, and you don't ask the real problem at the plant, and you push it. So it's a real top down. And at the end, you take time, you put money on this, and at the end, it doesn't meet the real needs, and you lose money, you lose time, and nobody use it. This is one of the bad.
Yeah, this really top down. I want these 5 dashboards with these 7 KPIs, and I don't, that's it.
Exactly. So in terms of a big company, it makes sense. It makes sense, but in order to sustain some changes, I think it's very important to take into account as well the real business needs. And I am telling this the bottom up. So it is for me one of the good practice to say that, okay, maybe we cannot say yes to all because it's not possible. It's not the same one, but at least we can highlight that this is the real issue. This can bring value for the end user, and then when you are working or addressing, let's say, the real problem in the manufacturing side or in the operation side, this will change the real life, the daily basis life of the operational team, and then they will support you, and they will use it, and they will apply it on a daily basis. That is what I am saying. Good, the good practice, and but it's not simple. It's not simple. It asks a lot of change management, a lot of animation, and so on and so on. A lot of network as well, because you have to have your ambassador at each plant or at each business unit, and so on and so on. So
yeah. And then you say, okay, you made the move to Poclain, and then you said from an industry 4.0 perspective, it was a greenfield. So
exactly.
So what should I imagine with a digital greenfield?
So basically, it's the companies. I think it's for most of the companies well structured, but from the IT side, we have a strong footprint on the IT for IT, let's say. So on the other things, or the for example, to managing the network and so on, it's very good at the company. The global system in the company is very good as well. But for the manufacturing, there was no dedicated people to supporting plants. So there were a lot of ITOT project that was managed only by operational people, by OT people. And for example, put in place some CMMS, for example, directly managed by the operational people for maintenance, for example, and then there are potentially some gap that is not filled relative to the IT constraints. So and that is one. And after this, there is as well, for example, good practice. Let's say if you should make something more scalable, taking technology, you have to take into account the update. Or for example, you'd like to take into account how can we have some global configuration. So if you let the end user to say like, okay, I'd like to implement this, they don't know. I don't want to tell they don't care, because they don't know.
No. They definitely care. Absolutely.
Yeah, they care the let's say the final use, but in between they don't know. They don't have no idea about what is the impact in terms of technique, in terms of maintenance, in terms of everything. So
cybersecurity,
standardization, and so on and so on. And if you implement something that is not standard for all, that means that if you have 10 plants, you have to manage 10 various versions of the same application, and at the end you have a big nightmare everywhere. But of course, this has the motivation was there because they have to have something to work and to perform the task. So the good idea had by Poclain at that time is like, okay, it is no more possible to continue like this.
Yeah.
So we have to structure this, putting some dedicated people working on this to standardize this, and it is where myself and my colleague at that time welcome to Poclain. Yeah.
Now, I can imagine that it's like is this saying like, how do you eat an elephant, piece by piece, or bite by bite?
Yeah.
I can imagine, Rija, that if you start, it's in the beginning, it's this, it's an elephant, right? And like where did you start?
Yeah. So it was really complicated because even if so I have some memories on that when we starting discussing with people in the shop floor here in France. So they said that from when the IT come to the shop floor, that was the the first that was the first question of the guys, and they are not really happy because I said they had, let's say, a bad idea of IT. But it's okay.
Never heard of and never heard about that.
Yeah, and so we started. So we have some small project, let's say, that we need to start with. For example, we had some quality application that normally this should be one application, but it is each plant have his own version. So in term of code management, in term of configuration, it's something that is really not uh, standardized. So this is one of the things that we start with, and we knew that there are a lot to do. So we started with what is the most pain point for the group, and this one is typically critical for us because it's the end of line quality control.
Mhm.
So all of the product produced by the company should be checked with this application, and we started with this one, standardized this, so moved from a exact application to web-based application and centralized one. So first is everyone to align with this. Same thing for for example, for the work construction. So we have as well a very old application on this. So we start as well with this one, and this has a real impact on the operational team because they are using on a daily basis each time, for example, because we have a lot of diversity. And for example, in a given station, we can have 50, 100 various part number that should be processed at the same station. So you can do it by your head. So you should have the work construction in front of you to say that, okay, this is the parameter. The parameter tolerance is not the same for this part, and then so on and so on. So we should have something that is more dynamic. Those as part of the initial project that we put in place. And we had as well a big project to put in place an MES across the group. But this was cancelled after the COVID-19 because no more budget, no more budget with the COVID-19. So at that time I said that, okay, normally it's part of my main mission when I come to the company, but since there is no more budget, I said that, okay, what we can do. So go elsewhere to start a new project or continue here, but how can we do more with less? That is the real point, and how can we let's say use the existing system with less expenses. So we changed from the strategy to have a big system having everything by using the best of breed. So this was the strategy we chose, and we did not have the choice as well because we did not have the budget for to put place in a big thing. And I think I will say this, that I know that it's not a happy event for everyone, but I thanked the COVID-19 for this.
Yeah, but you make a very good point here, and of course there is a lot of very very bad things
Yeah.
about COVID, but the thing here
Uh,
is that because you were under budget constraints,
Yeah.
you had to rethink your approach.
Exactly. So this was really a good thing for us. So it's like effectuation. So do with what you have, and this is what we did. So we try. Okay, we already have some siloed applications, siloed system that generate data, that people take a USB key, connect it to the system,
Yeah,
put it to the computer, creating a cross analysis with the Excel and so on and so on. And after 1 hour or 2 hours later, yes, we have a dashboard. But during this 1, 2 hours, we did not do your real job of quality or of production
yes,
and so on.
yes,
You're
yes.
just generating data. And this is when I did some travels across the group plants. So this okay, this is one of the things that we need to work on. And I in 2021, so I started the Data Hub project.
Okay.
So and it is where we have various system. So I don't want to name all of the partners we evaluated, but at the end, so we try to have some educated to take some educated decision about what we need in terms of connectivity, what you need in terms of compliance or with the database, in terms of how to use it. It should be easy. So
Yeah,
one of the key points for me is like something should be usable for non-IT people,
yeah,
because I don't want my team to be the bottleneck of the system. So those are something that we did, and Lightmist was part of the candidates on the system on this. And at the end, they check almost all what you need. And since 2021, we implement this system as our main data hub. And thanks to this, we break the silos on the system. Step by step,
yeah.
we build on it.
So you make a decision to have Litmus on different locations.
Exactly.
One thing which I find really interesting is that from a technological perspective, I can imagine it ticks the boxes, but from an organizational / data governance perspective, you can't just say like I'm gonna roll out edge devices or whatever you're doing. I'm gonna roll out some historians and just start. I assume you also needed to think a bit about how am I going around data governance, like what data do I need, how I'm going to structure it, how I'm going to store it, etc., etc. Any stories about that?
Yeah, so it's a very good point, because I am involved as well in the ecosystem in France in terms of Industry 4.0 manufacturing. So last month in October, I gave some conferences well in Paris, and exchanged with some experts in various from various company. And it's really the pain point for all. So where to start and how to start, and how to take people with us, and take the journey with us. So it's very important point. So for us, we took a lot of time to explain to our top management as well that yes, when you put in place the data hub, it will just an enabler. It will not it is not magical. It's just an enabler. So yes, it will have some costs. It will cost at least for the beginning, but the idea is to implement some use cases in top of this. So that is what we explain. And then we were lucky that the top management at that time understood this, and spread as well the information in all the group, because yes, when you have to pay something, and in the immediate timing, you have more or less nothing. So at the beginning, it's not easy. But what we did as well is like we try to find some quick win, something that is has a meaning meaningful. It's meaningful for any people from each plant. So, for example, we know that we have test benches at each plant. We know that data from test benches are already available somewhere, but it is not collected automatically. There is no automatic dashboard on this. So it is one of the quick win. We say, okay, just a plug and play the information on this, put in place data transformation to collect this one, create this globally, and we can duplicate easily because we have more or less same thing. This is one of the let's say the first use case that help us a lot to say to think, okay, there is something to do. People started to give some interest on the project that yes, we can do something. And then we did as well some exchanges for each plant, having a weekly workshop, a weekly meeting with them to understand, okay, what are your main points, and we addressed the real problem. So we did not try to digitize, let's say, something that they did not master, but really address some real pain points. So this is how we start. Not easy at the beginning, and we try to, let's say, to push some use case first at the beginning, and then after this, when the each plant know that it can help us for to do this and this, so they give us the things, and we have a lot of a backlog of the requests from the
That's good, huh? That's really good. Do you like from a data modeling point of view?
Yeah.
Do you centrally own some kind of a do you centrally own the master data? Is it decentral, or are the plants so different that it's a plant by plant model anyways?
So we keep mastering the data model from my team. We master data model. We create the model and we duplicate it. So, for example, we have various application. We cannot name all of them, but for each application, we define some data model. And once it's done, it can be duplicated for each data hub at each plant. And then you just they can manage it by themselves, because we try to find some let's say scalable configuration, a template with parameters. So they just need to change the template, like which equipment, what information, blah blah blah, the mapping and so on. That is done by themselves, but the heart of the system is managed and maintained by my team.
Okay. So that means that you have the I would say the template management is somehow done globally, but the actual translation to local use cases, that's done locally.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, for example, we have a motor line, for example. You have test bench for a motor line. Test bench for motor line is more or less same thing for any countries, for any continent. So we create once and then we duplicate it in their data hub so they can use it. And at the beginning, maybe it can take us a few days to develop the template. But for a new equipment, once, for example, the IP is done, the firewall configuration is done, and so on and so on. So it's a matter of half an hour to connect it, to reuse it. And then they are using as well the same dashboard for the overall plant. And so we try to have something that where we can have, let's say, a dynamic selection for from which plant, for each business unit, for each part, and etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. And like, where do you? Okay, do you centrally store all that master data, or is it some, or is it in spreadsheets, or is it in a system, or?
So everything is inside a database, a global database. Yeah, inside the global database. So we have the global database for all data, but we push as well some information to where we need it. Basically, we have some cloud application, for example, for reporting.
Yeah.
So we collect information once, and we push it anywhere we need it. So that will avoid any manual input for any end users. So, for example, for our so we are using a software like the name is Fabric. So the software is in a SaaS application. So from our data hub, we make an API call to push information there. So more or less 90% of the indicators in this is pushed automatically by our data hub.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's a huge improvement for all of the plants, so they don't need to take care about formatting data, entering information. Of course, there are some actions, some manual action to be done by the operators or by some managers, but 90% at least it's pushed automatically there.
Wow, we're getting close to the end of the podcast, but I want to do I don't do that too often, but I want to do a crystal ball moment here.
Yeah.
Suppose I would say in your role or in your company or whatever, let's say that we are, I don't know, not a decade, like 5 years in the future. Like, what do you hope will be different, or maybe what stays the same in 5 years?
In 5 years. So I'd like our company will be have a full digital twin. So everything will be there. The predictive maintenance is just normal.
It's like duh.
It's just normal things and managed directly by the end users. In less than 5 years, I hope that we'll have some self-service data. So any business unit can take information, use it, run it, make automatic analysis, maybe using AI or any sort of thing. But the things is like connected data from manufacturing, from supply chain as well, to improve and accelerate the business excellences.
Nice. Hey, and before we close, and this is a totally different topic, but I saw that you actually wrote a book as well.
Exactly.
It's a French one. It's titled "Franchir l'impossible," which I guess translates more or less to "Overcoming the impossible."
Impossible, exactly. Yes.
Nice. So what made you write the book, and what is it all about?
So basically, in 2020, during the COVID-19, so the world stopped from our company as well. So we stopped to work as well. So we are really off, let's say, and it's the first time from a long time from my school to 2020. It's the first time that I do nothing during 1 month. And it's really strange. That is the point. And so I ask questions. Okay, so what's next? What can I do during this? And by seeing as well a lot of the bad news on the TV and so on. So it can be me as well. So I said like I have a special path, let's say, because I am come from Madagascar. I grew up there and just come to France after my baccalaureate and continue my university school here. And and from IPO, so my from a modest family, so my path is not really easy. So I cannot imagine where I am today if I think back about my initial where I come from. So I said to my wife like, I would like to write something on paper for my two kids, for my two boys. If I don't know if the COVID take me, so at least they have something. So I start writing some memories like this, and after 2-3 days, I have a lot of things to share. And after this, said maybe I can turn this in terms of what is the problem, how can I overcome this, what is the result, and what is the unexpected result, and so on. So I create, let's say, chapter for its story in the book, and I discussed with another a teacher I had at the Paris Dauphine University. So he said like, it can be interesting to write a book on this, and it is why I started to write the book, and I did it in 3 weeks.
Wow. Wow. I think just the title, I'm going to say it in English again, but Overcoming the Impossible. I really like the title. And I think it also is perfectly applicable to many problems we face in our professional life. And also bridging the IT-OT gap is something which is is possible.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Rija, thank you for joining us. This is a wrap for this episode of the ITOT Insider Podcast. Also, a big thank you to Litmus for sponsoring this episode. Rija, thank you again. I really hope, I would say, I wish you all the best. It's a super, super interesting journey, and I'm sure you're going to do lots of very, very good stuff for your company. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, David, for having me. See you.
See you. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to subscribe at itotinsider.com, discover our trainings on itot.academy, and see you next time for more insights on how to bridge IT and OT. It is possible. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.